making an event, we are going to make a plan just like in planning and cabling of network. This module is all about how to plan our networks and look at the various cabling options to use in our networks. It is all about planning and cabling networks is where we are able to plan for the Internet Protocol version 4 addressing. We will use in our networks that will examine the process for connecting and configuring computers, switches, and routers into an Ethernet LAN.
There are many considerations to make when planning the network because in this section, we will consider the LAN connections and the WAN. Network planning is the process of deciding the topology and capacity of the network. So, when connecting to the network, the choice of which the router to deploy is determined by the Ethernet interfaces that match the technology of the switches at the center of the LAN. The routers use LAN and WAN connections that able to connect to the other routers. However, the other devices like switch are able to connect to the computers or PC that use fast Ethernet interfaces that also use copper straight through cable for connections. Network cables are like veins in the human body because they are the one who carries that allow data to flow from one place to another. Network cables are necessary to connect and transfer data and other information between computer, routers, and devices. The network cabling is important for several reasons because it includes the scalability, having less downtime, the ability to solve issues quickly, cleaner looking, and safer.
In this chapter, we have learned about in planning and cabling networks that examine the process for connecting and configuring computers, switches, and routers into an Ethernet LAN and WAN connections, wherein there are many cable connections that used to connect into the other devices, transfer data and other information between computer, routers, and devices. As what we mentioned in the beginning class, that we will use this cable to make connections to allow its transferring of data. But first, we need to have network planning to decide the topology and the capacity of the network.